Afternoon, everyone. It is Kat, and I'm back with a new video. And I'll be analyzing gold, I'll be analyzing Bitcoin, and I'll be analyzing probably NAS100 and US30. But then we'll see as we analyze. So, first of all, we're going to start with gold. This is just a chart you saw there is what do we call this? I forgot. But then this is our gold setup. So let me just clear the charts and I want to start again here because I thought it was going to buy until certain areas, but now I realize that we're going back inside, right? So first of all, this is our 1 hour time frame. So I'll go to the weekly time frame to analyze the charts and start on the weekly, and we'll see what the weekly has for us. Zoom in. What's this? Oof. So first of all you have to do is zoom out and see the whole chart. If you can see from the beginning, you see you've been going up, but then that's not where we're focusing right now. We're going to focus on our higher high, our highest high in the market. I'm not feeling good today, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. Emotionally, I am quite drained. And then we're going to mark our low. We're going to mark these lows, because these are the most current and most recent lows. So let me mark these ones also just in case, because I know from there we'll be coming to these areas. If we break these areas, we're coming to these areas. And then after we break these areas, we'll be coming to these areas. So no matter what, just mark this one. Now, we cannot do anything in the weekly, so I'll go to the daily. Probably one day I'll figure out the system, and I don't know, I just haven't figured out the system for now, So we have these lines that we can mark, and we say, okay, this is what we had on the daily. Personally, on my previous analysis and all those videos that I've dropped, you would have seen that I did mark this place as a key area, that the market has a chance of coming to these areas and turning from there. And it did exactly that, But then for me, at some point, I thought maybe we will be going to the downside because of these three touches that we had here. But now the market has decided, you know what, we're going to respect our high, our trend line. So I am changing the trend line to this. This is my new trend line. Right now, there's nothing else we can do in the daily, but then all we can do is now point out these areas that we have, such as these, we had this correction here, and then we continue to the downside. And now you can say, you know what, maybe this is a correction movement, and maybe the market is going to come back, retest, and continue to the downside. Or we can just scale down to the legacy FX. Wow. We can just scale down. Guys, which brokers are you using? I use 90% of the time. I've used the RCT market. I have used Globex 360, and honestly, out of all the brokers that I've used, Globex is like my favorite because of how it is in general. Apart from them taking 2% of your deposit, or is it 20% or whatever, they good, man. And these other brokers, man, they scam. Hot forex, I don't know why they charge us commission or anything like that, but I don't like that. And what else? Gold market, gold market has a lot of drama, bruh. As much as it makes people a lot of money, there's a lot of drama involved with that broker when you're trading. But then apart from that, certain dramas that they cause. For example, if you put a buy limit, it doesn't trigger you in. Oh, you know what? I don't even know how to explain that. You know, but then apart from that, I'm not here to talk about brokers and all of that. But then whatever you do, guys, when choosing your me, this is our pattern. So now, since we have this first touch, second touch, and we had our third touch there, we continue to test this area, well, a key area, to test the key area. And now what we're expecting is something like this, a continuation to the downside. We are still in the bearish market, but maybe we'll be changing the market, but this is what we are to expect, especially considering how the market is moving right now. As you can see, it's moving sideways. It's kind of sketchy. It's kind of corrective. There's no direct move. Like here, you see, we had an impulse correction, impulse. Here, we are like quite choppy. There's a lot of noise in the market. This is this movement, correction, impulse, correction, impulse. And now what we have here is the choppy market, So when it's like this, I can personally say, you know what, let's just wait and see what the market has for us here. Because at this point, we have these areas that we really haven't tested, in a more, testy way. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but we really haven't tested the market in a more testy way. So we might have something like that. Or if you don't want to do that, you can just scale down to a 15. Let me just scale down to a 15 and give you point down what you can do if you don't want to trade like that. See, we have this pattern here. As you can see, this is a double bottom, so we might be headed to the upside. We say we have that pattern ID, something like this, right? That's the pattern we have there. So now we might expect the market to give us this test like this, and we head to the downside. So basically, what I'm saying is you can enter yourselves here, just breaking it down like this. I mean, just breaking it down. This is my breakdown for this market and possibilities it is, right? Or if you don't want to take the risk, you feel like, you know what, this movement is too risky, you can just throw your support here and say, you know what, when the market breaks the support and retests, I'll enter ID. But then, you know, me, I'm seeing the market moving in a more sketchy way right now. You can even throw a trend like this, you know. There are a lot of ways to see the market at this point. You know, you can draw this trend like this. You see you have our first touch, you have our second and third here. Now we're expecting probably another touch on these areas. Still, so what I'm going to do is, for me personally, what I'm going to do when trading this is, just like I've said, the market is going to push up, probably is going to push up and then come back, and then I'll wait for it to what? To retest these areas, and that's when I enter the market, you know. So that's what I'm expecting, or that's when I'll enter the market if it does this particular movement, or if it breaks out this area and then retests, that's when I'm going to, you know what. So I have two entry levels at this point. I'm not seeing buys. I am pro bearish at this point. So so this broker, they give you bonus, right? A lot of brokers do that. So I had like I had small amounts of money in my trading account, and I was like, okay, let me just enter this and see if maybe the bonus can hold. But then the bonus couldn't hold. You know, if it could, I would be in like serious profits. I would have grown that small account to probably 10,000 right now. But then, hey man, the analysis was accurate, but then the money in the account wasn't accurate. So sometimes that's the problem, you know, the less money you have in your trading account, it makes it harder for you to trade, you know, because this market was around these areas. Let me tell you why I decided to enter this sell. So first of all, we broke out of this uptrend and we are in a bearish market, right? So I was like, okay, since we are in a bearish market, it's fine. And we have this left shoulder, we have the head here, and this is our right shoulder, you know. But then the market was here. Dog. Like I drew this here, right? The market was here. And I also realized that, you know what, we have this left shoulder here in the head. We might push to these areas. But then I also realized that no, we won't just push to these areas, we're going to break these areas and potentially come to these areas of which you did. But then now you can never be 100% accurate with the market. That's why I put my stop loss in these areas because I knew we were not going back there, you know. And then you see the market came up. Now, how did I get to place my thing here? I took my Fibonacci, you know, I took my Fibonacci and then I placed it there and I knew we have a 0.3, right? But then I didn't think we'd get to 0.5. That's the other thing, you know, because I was like, nah, this market is too choppy. And most of the time when the market gets to 0.5, it's when it's like, you know, we are not wasting time, we go up or we're moving in a more corrective way. You know, this is not even corrective. Let me just show you guys. We have this impulse to the downside, you know, and then we had this 2, 3 candles, and then, you know, so that's why I thought only tend to we will only tend at 0.3, but then we went to 0.5 and went down. Usually 0.5 is when we have a more serious correction, you know, that has great touches and all of that. But then with this one, you know, you never know. Indices are built different, I guess. You know, and guys, right now I am stuck in a predicament. You know, I spoke to some lady and she was like, "Yo, I know someone. You know, I want to be. I don't want. I'm a trader, but then I want to invest in other things like property and all that. So I want this lady to mentor me, but I don't even know how I am going to ask her to mentor me. So this is how I actually got to this 0.3. But then now I've learned that, you know what, sometimes you And the reason why I did place this sell limit was because I was leaving. It was like 4 p.m., something like that, Thursday or Wednesday, something like that. It was Thursday. It was Thursday. It was Thursday. So if I had enough money in this trade, I could have capitalized what, I don't know, 5% probably of this trade. But then this is where we hit it. And from there, I don't know, probably probably come back to these areas. Let me just see. Yeah, I will probably come back to these areas to form this head and shoulder, full the bigger version now, and then scale down to these areas or to these areas until we get to the 90% of the until we get to the 90%, and from there you probably continue to the downside. This is German DT, by the way. It's a nice trade. I like it. You know, moving to US30. Oof, this is something else. I was analyzing with my friend not so long ago. Let me not analyze US30 first. Let me analyze NASDAQ. I was analyzing with one of my friends not so long ago, right? And I told him that with NASDAQ, the thing is, we had a trend, the bearish, we're still in the bearish market, right? This is the trend that we have, the bearish trend that we have. If you know what, my chart is quite full. This is the thing we have here. And I told them we might have broken out, but then just to test these areas. Oh, and also remember, guys, when I analyzed for you, for those who watched my NASDAQ analysis, I told you guys, if the market comes to these areas, look at this, bro. It would have just given me that nudge and poof, I would have been in. I was in certain trades here, like this one. I told you guys, if it doesn't do that, it will retest here. And look at this, it broke and retested and went down. My analysis were kind of accurate, guys. These analyses are accurate. So going back inside the thing. So what am I to expect? Well, let's find out in my analysis session. Probably going to analyze these two only because we're running out of time and it's going to be 6 very soon. And I have somewhere to be actually. So starting on the daily time frame, we have our highs, we have our lows, guys. Come on, basic information when you're analyzing your market, your highs and your lows. And we have this area here. The reason why I'm drawing it like this, I want to show you why I'm drawing it like this, what the market might do for me to confirm my sales exactly, because these sales are not confirmed as of yet. It can be a retest, break and retest in continuation. So now we also have this pattern that is formed here. You can just draw this pattern here that we broke out of, right? We broke out of this pattern. Let me just leave it like that. I don't need to get into detail with this one because we broke out. So now we have this area also. Let's draw this, but I can draw it like this. Now, what we can have here is something like, but the main move that I'm waiting for, honestly, the main move that I'm waiting for is something like this. As you can see, we already have our left shoulder right in this, and we have a big outbreak there, and we've broken it. So I'm probably expecting something like this, and a retest here, and a continuation to the downside. I'm not expecting the market to come back and retest these areas. Personally, I am not. Please repeat after me. I am not expecting the market to come back and test these areas. I'm expecting the market to do something like, well, I'm not a market mover, yeah, but I believe the market can do something like this. And that way we're going to have our left shoulder, our head, and our right shoulder. on the what? On the trend line, guys. On the trend line. Remember when I analyze, I say when the market breaks out of a trend line, this is our trend. When the market breaks out forcefully, it comes back in and retest the trend and continue to the downside. And looking at this, we already have a left shoulder here. You know, we went up and we couldn't break and went down and went up again. Now we're going back inside. So now we are possibly going to break in again, you know. But now, how are we going to confirm the break-in when we break this support slash resistance area that will be formed? Yeah, we can just hit this area as support and go back up. But I'm telling you guys, this is what I'm seeing personally on the market. Right now, we're forming a head and shoulder on the charts. So some people will say, okay, let's look at this way. You draw a thing here, and then that's when you form the real head and shoulder. But it can do that. But then for now, I believe that we are not going to do that. But then if we do that, that's when I'm going to move my trend to these areas and realize that, okay, I was wrong. And this is where we hit it. This is our 90% area. And these are our first TPs. As you can see, we have a strong area here. But for now, guys, I am pro sales as I am bearish also in this market. You know, I'm not going to analyze it on the lower time frame. I'll do that probably tomorrow. But with Nasdaq, I am definitely pro bearish because the market is bearish on its own, right? So we have the exact same thing with US30. Well, with US30, I didn't expect the market to like break beyond the trend line. I thought maybe, you know what, we will not going to break beyond the trend line, but we are, of course. And now looking at it, we have this area right here, which is a key area. I don't know how to draw the area, but something like this. And then wait for the market to come back and retest here. And we get ourselves simple, clean, straight to the point. We broke back into the market, right? Remember, or yeah, this is the only explanation I have. And this is where we hit it with our usage. You know, this is where we also had 90% rule. These are sales. I'm not going to indulge because I don't usually trade USDT like that. But this is what I would be expecting from USDT. Myself, you know, entering sales there, retest. It can be in the 15 minutes. As you can see, oof, wow, this one is kind of like clean. When if you are a trend line guy, this is a correction. This is a correction. As you can see, your first, second, and third touches. Now we carry to the top and we might touch here. So now when the market gets here, it's going to give us something like boom and probably a weak rejection. And you know, we go down to the downside. It's a continuation pattern. So you can take this and place it here and tell yourself, you know what, this is what I'm expecting from my USDT. This is what you should expect from USDT. And as you can see, we'll be testing these areas. That's it from my side with USDT. I'll try my best to fund my account with like a lot of money this time and trade like a normal trader. You know, I've been learning, I'm trying to learn how to grow small accounts. You know, trading a small account is not easy as trading a big account because when there's a drawdown in the market, you can handle it with a big account. But when the small account, you know, as you guys have seen, I could have easily made a lot of money with this trade here of German 30. Every time when I look at it, I feel pain, like how did I actually not trade this with my account? But it is what it is. Could have easily, if you had funded 10,000, you could have easily turned it into 100,000 easily. So guys, stay safe, keep on learning how to trade, and one day you'll know how to trade and you'll make millions, and you know what, you'll be the richest guy in your hood, in your complex, in your household, probably, So yeah, stay safe. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'll record another video. Oh, I said I'm going to analyze Bitcoin also. Wow. I'm out of time, guys. I'm out of time.